Welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. And I will show my face on the live stream there too. There we go. Got a lot going on this morning. Very busy. Got a film crew coming in here too. About to get them in when we get to the break. But wow. Boy, this weekend, pep up, to say the least. So, unbelievable happenings going on in WWE, AEW, TNA, and just a little something going down in Las Vegas. And I'm going to be a sweetheart, and I'm going to save that as a teaser. I was going to lead the show with it, but I'll save it. But we had a big show going on in France where WWE Backlash took place in Lyon with a rather, I don't know what to say about this crowd. A lot of people enjoyed it. They were peppy, shall we say. Some would say peppy in a good way, and some would say Pepe Le Pew. But they were a little excited to have their first premium live event from WWE going on there. And they were raucous. And WWE made them pay for it too. Holy cow, did you hear about that? That is their biggest live gate for a PLE ever. And it was only 11,000 people there. They charged them $300 a seat. Ouch. For Backlash? Oh, mon frère. Dig into your wallet. But they had a good time. So good for them. But it was an interesting day in Lyon. As one title changed hands and everybody else kind of hung on, and we had a little surprise. So we have a new member of the bloodline, but not the one that everybody was thinking of. Oh, very interesting. The Gorillas of Destiny are back together. The GOD as Haku's kids together again. That's right. We didn't get Jacob Fautu last night. Yeah, we got another Haku kid as Tonga Loa makes his WWE debut. Nobody even knew he was out of his New Japan contract. So he joins the bloodline and helps out in this tag match as Kevin Owens and Randy Orton go down to Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, along with the newest member of the bloodline. And by the way, I don't know if you saw the video, but Tonga Loa almost blew that ref spot where they were getting a 3 count, and Loa was supposed to pull the referee out, and he almost didn't get to him in time, and the referee actually started sliding backward, and then Loa managed to grab him and pull him. That was close. Oh, man. But a pretty wild opener to that one. Just ended up being a no DQ. Everything got kooky crazy. But a wild one there to open that matchup. We had Bailey, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Bailey survives. Good match by all. One of your typical Backlash matches. Damian Priest beats Jey Uso. Got a little help from JD McDonough and Finn Balor. He didn't want it. He was mad. But he wouldn't have won the match without it. So I'm not sure what he was totally upset about. Because otherwise he doesn't walk out with the World Heavyweight title. And Jey Uso takes a loss. That was helpful to Jey. The Kabuki Warriors lose the women's tag titles to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And I don't know what was going on in that about the last 4 or 5 minutes of that match. There was a weird sequence in there with Jade and Kairi Sane, the pinfall not counting because Kairi wasn't legal, but then Asuka went back out and waited for a tag, even though she wasn't the legal person. And I don't know. It was a awkward finish to the match. But Jade got her finisher in, and Bianca and Jade are the new WWE Women's World Tag Team Champions. So congratulations to them. But it wasn't the smoothest match, shall we say. And, we'll talk more about that a little later on. Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, pretty good match. Some interesting chanting. People thought that AJ wasn't over, but they were doing this weird French phenomenal song for AJ. So the crowd was actually fairly split between Cody and AJ on this one. But Cody Rhodes does walk out with the WWE Undisputed Championship. So there you go. That was Backlash. Just 5 matches. All came at a premium for the y'all Frenchman. And I got to say, I wasn't. The crowd was, like I said, the crowd was into it. They were going nuts even an hour before the show. And that makes that card seem a lot better. Quite frankly, it made it seem a lot better than what it was. It was, I hate to say it, but it was a typical non-major WWE premium live event. Good matches, got a minor title change, but it's not going to be anything anybody's going to really remember. Nobody's going to look back and say, wow, that Cody AJ match was a Matt classic. And it was a great match. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's not when everybody's going to go look back on and say, wow, I got to go watch that again. Same thing with the women's match, Bailey's match. Great match. Bailey and Naomi had a terrific spot where they did a 3D on Tiffany. Really cool spot, but not one that everybody's going to go, oh my God, that was just sensational. It was just another WWE PLE that wasn't WrestleMania, that wasn't Survivor Series, that wasn't SummerSlam, that wasn't the Royal Rumble, that wasn't Money in the Bank. It's okay. And we're going to be talking with our guest later on. Phil Stamper is going to be joining us, the president of wrestling, in hour number 2. And, we're going to be talking about, are these WWE PLEs, which they now appear to be taking overseas. We're seeing it more and more. Backlash last year was in Puerto Rico. We're seeing Clash in the Castles overseas. We've got this Bash in Berlin. We had Elimination Chamber, not overseas, but that one's up in Canada and Montreal. We got Money in the Bank in Toronto. We just had Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. Are we seeing that WWE is going to take the lower level PLEs and take advantage of an opportunity to go to different audiences and say, hey, we haven't been here before. So you know what? it's not going to matter. You're all going to come and you're going to pay a premium price. And we know it. We know it. You're not going to care if we have WWE superstars coming in and we're doing a PLE. You will show up. You will pay whatever we want. And that's it. The rest of it, the big ones, yeah, we're good. We're good. We'll hang in the U.S. because our U.S. fans are going to be a little spoiled. They're going to want something bigger and better. But otherwise, this looks like a trend. This looks like a trend. I don't blame them. But is it fair? Is that fair to the fans who are paying really good money? I mean, I'm telling you, you got a crowd of 11,000 that sets a WWE record for gate. Think about that for a second. Think about how many WWE pay-per-view / premium live events that you've seen over the years. And this is the biggest one of all time. I would love to know what those ringside seats were going for. I would love to know. I hate to tell you, Franz, but we got you again. We got you again. Ouch. But I have a feeling this isn't going to stop. And like I said, do I blame WWE for doing it? No, but I think everybody overseas, you better realize what you're getting when you're going to these. Maybe you'll see a world title change at some point. I don't know. But it's not going to happen very often. They're saving that. So next one on the schedule, going over there, I believe. Let's see. I have the schedule right here. Coming up. Let's see. Backlash, King and Queen of the Ring. Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for clogging up on Memorial Day weekend with Double or Nothing coming here in Las Vegas. Jeddah Superdome, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. When was the last time something really big happened at one of those crown jewel type events? Didn't. Clash at the Castle, Glasgow, Scotland. Got robbed of what a lot of people thought should have been a championship title change. Instead, we got Drew McIntyre singing a song with Tyson Fury. Okay. I hope everybody enjoyed it. But you didn't get what you wanted. You wanted Drew McIntyre to win the WWE Universal Championship. Money in the Bank's in Toronto. Then we get SummerSlam, and guess what? Right into Cleveland. What are you going to do? Guess what, you guys? Those of you, because I know that we have an international audience for the show. I see the downloads. We've been downloaded in 160 countries all over the world, every continent except Antarctica. And I know you guys are cold down there, so sorry. Be aware of what you're getting. And I don't know, like I said, don't know what they charged you guys, but was it worth it? That's a good question. I suppose the experience was worth it. But otherwise, know what you're getting into, man. These are going to be semi-glorified house shows. So just know. Hey, let's take a break. And I got to let this film crew in. And when we come back, the big announcement. I told you. Get ready, Vegas. There's going to be a party going on. Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. And don't forget, hour number 2, Phil Stamper, the president of wrestling from PWRevolver, is going to be joining us. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
How do you become the best tire store in Las Vegas 2 years in a row? Because of deals like this. I'm Jimmy, District Manager at Big O Tires. Spring is the best time to get your vehicle ready for summer during our Hit the Road sales event. Come in today for a free AC inspection and get $50 off your air conditioning service if work is required. Now that's cool. Plus, make your tax refund go even further with 12 months interest-free financing on qualifying purchases, tires, brakes, oil changes, AC service, and more. We're Big O Tires, open 7 days a week. Find your nearest store at bigotires.com.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-230-8357. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-230-8357.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-230-8357. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-230-8357 or oxcarcare.com.
Grab your friends and family and come out to the Mountains Edge Music Festival, Saturday, May 11th at Exploration Peak Park on Buffalo and Blue Diamond starting at noon. Enjoy a full day of food trucks, lawn games, and live music featuring Authority Zero, Otherwise, The Hire, Let Down, and more. Upgrade your experience to the Finley Chevrolet VIP Lounge, featuring alcohol tasting and a complimentary taco plate. General admission and VIP tickets are available now at ctickets.us. All ages are welcome and kids 5 and under are free at the Mountains Edge Music Festival, Saturday, May 11th.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting lovenvwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mark Hoke Show. Yeah, that's me. Lucky you all. You are so honored to have me doing this pro wrestling radio show. Nah, I'm just kidding. Having a great time. Thanks for joining us here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Of course, those of you out there on the Odyssey app, worldwide, we certainly do appreciate you tuning in there too. And if you haven't downloaded the app, well, shame on you. Your grandparents are just looking at you saying, you know, I'm sad. I'm disappointed. Get the Odyssey app. You have this show plus all of our great programming on KDAWN. And, of course, all the great programming that's on there as well. There's a ton of great shows on the Odyssey app. Download it right now. Plus, it's got a rewind feature on it, too, so you can go back and, going through time like Kushida. He goes through time, apparently. So make sure you get that Odyssey app. And, of course, we're also live streaming on YouTube and Facebook, so you can check that out. And please go subscribe to us on YouTube. And, yes, I know I'm behind. Stuff going on. Promise we'll get caught up on there. But give us a subscription on there, too. We would certainly appreciate that as well. Now, in case you didn't hear, Las Vegas is very, very happy, and we're going to be very, very rich. Woohoo! Socially secure. Because we've got ourselves a little event coming to town on April 19th and 20th And no, it is not the double bubble gum blowing championship. Welcome WrestleMania back to Las Vegas. It's been since WrestleMania 9. Can you believe that? You guys remember WrestleMania 9? I've got a couple of friends in the studio here. Do you guys remember WrestleMania 9? They're too young. WrestleMania 9 was that fiasco with Hulk Hogan getting the belt after Yokozuna had beaten Bret Hart out back at Caesar's Palace. It's been that long. Well, the announcement was made during the Kentucky Derby yesterday. WrestleMania 41. No, Minneapolis. Sorry to those of you that are listening to the show in Minneapolis. Not cutting it. We will be hosting WrestleMania April 19th and 20th, 2025 at Allegiant Stadium. And I can't tell you what happened to my phone when that announcement came up. Holy cow. Between my phone, social media, yikes. Interesting thing about that, by the way, that's Easter weekend. Did you know that April 20th next year is Easter? The Easter Bunny is going to be taking part in WrestleMania. I wonder if he's going to be carrying a Prime bottle. That should be fun. But yes, WrestleMania will be here. And when we have Phil Stamper on in the next hour, obviously the economic impact is huge. Right now they are estimating around 200,000 people plus were in Philadelphia for WrestleMania 40. That's Philadelphia. I'm from the area. So I can tell you a little bit about, Philly's a cool city. It's got its issues. But, fun place to go and certainly see the sights and all the colonial stuff and Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell and all that amazing history and sights to see in the area. But this is Las Vegas. Oh, can you imagine how many people are going to be here? And apparently the trip to this, with the Super Bowl here and how Las Vegas handled that really impressed the WWE officials. But from what I have been told, a lot of the issues stemmed around one, they moved the dates and they didn't want to do it on the first weekend of April anymore because it's competing with the NCAA National Championship basketball tournament. So staying away from that. The other issue was the weather. And for those that were in Philadelphia, it was cold. Now, US Bank Stadium does have a roof on it, but still, for those that have not spent time in the upper Midwest, I went to North Dakota State. So about 3.5 hours northwest of Minneapolis, did a lot of time in Minneapolis. I can tell you this, in April, it still can get nasty up there. Until you get into about early to mid-May, it can get a little crazy up there. You can still get a snowfall. You can still get the temperatures dropping into the high 30s, low 40s. They did not want that like they had in Philadelphia this year. And they said, you know what? Off we go. And apparently Minneapolis was the front runner. And I guess Vince wanted to go there, but Triple H said, we're going to Vegas. So a lot of excitement here. And what's going to be fun is when we have Phil Stamper on, of course, Phil puts together that independent wrestling calendar, which is just absolutely incredible. If you've never looked at it, I would highly suggest you follow him at Trust and Phil, because Phil just compiles almost every independent card in the country. You can get to see not just the events that WWE is doing, but all the events that surround what's going on at WrestleMania weekend. And it's a lot. It is a lot. The economic impact for Las Vegas cannot be understated at this point. It is going to be so exciting to have WrestleMania here. Cannot wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to having the Mark Hoke Show be an integral part of that. I want to thank by the way, got to thank the SundaySlam.tv guys for swinging over here. I don't know what they wanted to film me for. I mean, I guess I'm one sexy devil. But thanks for Joey DeFalco's over like, I know. I'm just having fun. But give them a follow too. They're pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be great for everyone here in Las Vegas, and we're going to show them how to do it. No doubt about it. And, I mean, the city is just so well set up for an event like this. Convention centers, the hotels. The one area that obviously is a concern, and is the same concern that we had for the Super Bowl, is traffic. Hopefully the Tropicana interchange will be done. I put up a tweet that I'm not betting on it, but maybe by 2025 we'll have that thing finished up, which, of course, for those of you that don't live here, that's the main exit that you get off to go to the stadium, which got postponed for that exciting Formula One race that nobody cared about. So fingers crossed on that. But it should be just an amazing time. And on behalf of all the wrestling community in Las Vegas, thank you, Triple H. Thank you to WWE. We're looking forward to having you guys out here for WrestleMania in, well, about 50 weeks. It's going to be great. So there you go. WWE WrestleMania coming out here. And by the way, I got to tell you, the local media, you guys have better kind of get on board on this, because I saw some of the stories on this. I don't think you understand. I don't think you get it. I mean, just yeah, WrestleMania is coming, and there's supposedly there were 200,000 people that came to fun. Guys, you were out there, right? Joey was out there. Joey, come here a sec. You mind popping on a mic here real fast? Just real quick, Joey DeFalco here. How many people were out there? Just do you think that 200,000 figure was pretty good?
Well, both nights combined was about 140 to 150,000. So I'm imagining that people came out there just for watch parties or surrounding events like Progress and GCW, especially. Again, there's probably 1,000 people at Bloodsport. Let's just say 800 or 600 didn't go to Mania, and you do that a couple of times over. So yeah, probably a couple 100,000 at least.
Right. Right. I mean, that's what people I don't think understand, is that it's not just everybody going to WrestleMania. There's so many events that go around this thing, conventions, all the indie promotions, all the events that surround this thing. It's not what it used to be, where it's just, everybody comes to the one night of WrestleMania and then goes home. This is, it's a 2-night event, and you have events going on all week long. It's nuts.
Carry SmackDown and Raw and the WrestleCon, that probably had 20,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So Vegas, get ready. I don't know. I'm getting ready already. The wheels be turning. So this is going to be pretty exciting. So there you go. WrestleMania coming to Las Vegas. And by the way, to everybody out there that's listening or catches us on social media and so on, if you need any, want any tips or anything like that about, where should I stay, where are good places to eat, all that kind of stuff, man, drop me a line. Hit me up on social media at Mark Hoke Show on Twitter, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. More than happy to give you some ideas, because it's going to be just a nightmare down there on the Strip. By the way, we had to see Jesse Hyde in the chat box saying, imagine WWE doing WrestleMania 41 events in Vegas in the Sphere. Oh, that's something I want to talk about today too. In the Sphere, T-Mobile Arena, and MGM Grand Garden Arena. And what do you think of GOD and WWE? And now the New Japan WWE connection being in full. Well, that's a lot. Okay. Well, where do we start on that? Okay, imagine events going all at the same time. I don't know if it'll be all at the same time, but I will touch on the Sphere, because Chris Van Vliet had put something up about doing something in the Sphere, and I think that it's going to be really tricky to do a one-night event in the Sphere, and here's why. the Spear is having a little bit of a difficult time booking acts in there because of what that venue is. Obviously, it's not just a concert venue where you go in, you sit down, and there's a stage, and you got a couple monitors up on the screens up on the front. You have the full panoramic camera view that you've got to fill that whole thing in, and that is an incredible undertaking to properly utilize the inside of the Spear. I think it's a misnomer, I think, for a lot of people that aren't from here, that they think that it's just the outside. Well, no, it's basically the same thing on the inside. And so to do something inside there, it's very costly. And that's why they're having a lot of difficulty booking other acts. U2 is in there because U2 has the money to do something like that. But if you haven't noticed, they've been trying, the Grateful Dead group was trying to get in there, trying to get them set up, the Eagles. But otherwise, they've been having a hard time getting groups to come in there. So I know Chris had said something about, can they do Raw? Can they do SmackDown? I think that it's going to be too cost prohibitive to do one night's event, and especially doing Raw. Man, you'd have to turn that footage all around that quickly and format it so that it would go on the cameras type setup that's inside the Spear. I think that would be nearly impossible. Not saying WWE can't do it. That is one of the best production teams on the planet. But now doing something in terms of an experience, or maybe for about a month leading up and through the event, where you maybe do a history of WWE, some sort of experience like that, where you're doing multiple shows in a day, that could work. And then, the MGM Grand Garden Arena, I would imagine they're probably going to utilize that. T-Mobile Arena, probably really good for SmackDown and Raw, I would think. Yeah, the Grand Garden Arena probably would be the best venue, I would imagine, for NXT, for Stand and Deliver. That would be my guess. But T-Mobile, yes, definitely SmackDown for SmackDown, the Hall of Fame ceremony. And then what I think of GOD and WWE and the New Japan connection. Oh, I'm loving that. You should, if you were watching the pre-show, when Big E said the words New Japan, CM Punk just about died. And it was something else. And the Triple H has made the decision that the world of professional wrestling now exists outside of WWE. So we can talk about it. Michael Cole was talking about it during the broadcast last night. And it's about damn time. I mean, the only talking about AEW may still be a little off limits unless it's a veiled shot. But otherwise, yeah, it should be okay to talk about that. And it should be okay for WWE to work with New Japan, just like AEW is. I think WWE learned their lesson when they saw what Tony did with Forbidden Door, that, yeah, we should be working with these guys. We should be getting their talent. Honestly, and I think it's an interesting point that you bring that up, Brett or Jesse in the chat box, because I almost wonder if New Japan's regretting it because they're losing all their talent to AEW and WWE. They are. They're all gone. Osprey's gone. Okada's gone. Even the gals from Stardom are disappearing. They're losing everybody. Better be careful. You open a door, people are going to walk in and out. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And hopefully maybe we'll see an exchange of talent. Boy, now would it be cool to have a WWE New Japan show? Woo-hoo. Oh, that would be fun. It's just too bad it wouldn't be Roman and Okada, but can't win them all. But one thing we are going to do is we are going to take a break. And we come back, we're going to talk more about some of the other things happening in pro wrestling this week, because, of course, We had TNA under siege this week. We had a little bit of fun with a wrestler trying to hit number 1 on the charts. And the boys in AEW, they were bad. This is elite, guys. What are we going to do? Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Hunt Bono, inviting you to listen to The Dennis Bono Show with great music, fun, and artists appearing in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, every Sunday, 6 p.m. on 101.5 FM.
Say, for the ones who get it done, Grainger is offering high-quality supplies and solutions for every single industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and the experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people even safer. So call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Grainger.com.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts. Until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPV LLC.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Ready for your next vacation? Not so fast. Before you hit the road, remember these healthy habits to keep yourself and others safe and sanitary. Wash your hands after using the restroom, before eating and after blowing your nose. Sanitize airplane seats and tray tables. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Lastly, make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. It's also important to get tested when necessary, such as if you develop COVID-19 symptoms before, during, or after travel. If you will be traveling to visit someone who is at a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19, or if you're in a situation with a greater risk of exposure during travel. Pack these tips on your next adventure. And remember, travel safely, Nevadans. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
If your retirement plan is on set it and forget it, it's time to take control. Tune in for Financial Safari with America's Wealth Coach and best-selling author, Coach Pete D'Arruda.
Financial Safari with Coach Pete, Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 2 p.m. on 101.5 FM.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Just running through the hallways like a madman here at the KDAWN studios. Just having a blast. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Thanks for being with us today on the Mark Hoke Show. It's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment, top rated live show here on KDAWN 1015. And of course, streaming on the Odyssey app and live streaming on YouTube and Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Not hard. See, I keep it simple for everybody because, well, I'm just that kind of guy. Take it easy. But yeah, we're getting ready for WrestleMania 41 here in Las Vegas. And it's funny, already seeing videos. What's going to be the card for WrestleMania 41? Will you guys relax? But if you want to put in the chat box, you think you got an idea, I would love to see somebody pick the main event right now. Would love to see it. If you think you can pick the main event of WrestleMania, you tell me. I don't know. Is it Roman Rock? Yeah. Good possibility. It's looking like we're going to have two bloodlines. It smells like it. It smells like it's what The Rock is cooking. Like I said, we've got this rogue group of bloodliners. Bad bloodline guys. Getting a little bit out of hand. Well, Paul Heyman can't control him. I wonder if Haku's going to show up. He'll bite somebody's nose off. He did that. Yes, he did. But yeah, Solo Sikoa. Looking like he's not happy. Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, the sons of Haku, are now bloodline guys. Jimmy Uso, of course, hurt, but it looks like he's out. And I would imagine that The Rock is going to probably come back and lead this group. Just my guess. And when Roman comes back, he will probably get the Usos back together and Jacob Fatu. That'd be my guess. So now it's just going to be Samoans everywhere. Get your lays out, everybody. Everybody gets laid. Oh, did I say that? I did. Everybody gets laid. Wonder if Naomi gets involved. I'll get Naomi on the one side. Oh, that'll be fun. Get the ladies in there. Why not? Let's just pile them all on. But it'll be an interesting road to WrestleMania coming up. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. But get ready for WrestleMania coming up in Las Vegas. Now, of course, we have some other things going on. Under Siege just took place on Friday night for TNA. Note we did have one title change over there. There is a new TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, I should say, as Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich. That's right. Masha's got a new partner. It's Alicia Edwards, Eddie Edwards' wife. Captured the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. So the system gets another title in their little pile. That was the only title change. Unfortunately, the Hammerstone Jake something match didn't happen as Hammerstone was not medically cleared to go, so we didn't get that one. But some other interesting ones. Josh Alexander and Eric Young knocked off Steve Macklin and Frankie Kazarian in a tag match. That was probably fun. Joe Hendry beat Zachary Wentz, and we're going to be talking about Joe Hendry later on in the show. I'm saving that from when Phil Stamper gets on. I believe in Joe Hendry a lot. I can't wait. Some other ones. Jonathan Gresham came out, and boy, his new presentation as the Octopus. He's scary. He took care of Kushida. Mustafa Ali knocks off Ace Austin, holds on to his X Division title, and the System won their 6-man tag match. So that was your big results from TNA Under Siege on Friday. I'm sure everybody was just singing too. That's just, it's going to be fun to discuss that whole thing. I can't wait. I cannot wait. AEW Dynamite, of course, we got to see, oh man, poor Kenny Omega. Oh, the Best Bout Machine got beat up twice. So if there was any doubt where the allegiance of our young buckaroos, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, Jack Perry, and Okada lie, well, it's certainly not with Kenny Omega. As he gave his little speech, got beat up as they were taking him out to the ambulance, got beat up again. So those guys, well, they're going to be causing some trouble for a while. And honestly, I'm excited about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We need a good overarching storyline in AEW, and I think we've got it. And hopefully Tony Khan's going to keep wearing that neck brace for a while. I'm pretty excited about that. That's good. Keep that rolling. Well, we'll see how that all turns out as we head into AEW Double or Nothing, which, by the way, we got some matches for that card as we now have Swerve Strickland's challenger for right here in Las Vegas. And you guys better turn out for that. You're going to be at the MGM Grand Garden Arena on the 26th. And I am expecting a packed house. You don't pack the house, I'm going to start coming and getting you by the scruffs of your necks. That's right. Hulkamania is going to get physical. And we're going to drag you all down there. It's going to be, that's right. Gary Johnson in the chat box says, keep it mean but clean. There you go. That's what I'm going to do. Swerve Strickland will face Christian Cage for the World Championship. What is wrong with that? Is awesome. That's going to be terrific. Tony Storm right now is lined up to take on Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship. You get Roderick Strong and Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. And we're going to get Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné. Those are the first 4 matches on the card for AEW's Double or Nothing right here in Las Vegas over Memorial Day weekend. And of course, WWE deciding, you know what, let's just clog that weekend up even more than we possibly could imagine. We're going to have King and Queen of the Ring. That's going to be going on over in amazing Saudi Arabia. And they did announce some first round matches for that. Some pretty good ones there too, highlighted to me by Gunther and Sheamus. What a first round match. First round? Are you kidding me? That should be the final. What are they thinking? Well, obviously they've got something planned. I am not the booker, man. I'm not. But that's gonna be a fun match to see that one again. Maybe it's punishment for Sheamus not quite coming in with the in-game shape. But it'll still be a lot of fun. But some pretty good first round matches for those tournaments on both sides. If we have time, we'll break those down. But I know that I'm going to have so much darned fun with Phil Stamper. It's going to be unreal because I'm sure that Phil has already booked his flights, his hotels. He is ready to go. He's going to get to finally hang out with me at WrestleMania, even though I think he should just be coming out for Double or Nothing and hanging out with me. That would be the right thing to do. You know, because, well, Phil Stamper's a cool dude. I'm a cool dude. That's what cool dudes do. Plus, he's the president of wrestling. The president of wrestling should be at every amazing, huge event in pro wrestling. That's his job. We're going to hear from him in hour number 2. Should be a lot of fun. So stick around, everybody. We're going to be breaking this whole thing down with what's going on with WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. What happened at Backlash? And I may make Phil sing. I may do it. I know he believes. He believes in Joe Hendry. Stick around, everybody. Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show, markhokeshow.com. It's really simple. Just do it. Stick around, everybody. Hour number 2 of The Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN, 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, and the Odyssey app. Coming at you. We'll be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Did you know you can stream Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app? Just download the free Odyssey app and search for Fox News Radio to hear the voices you trust. Brian Kilmeade.
Why are we so scared of Iran thinking they were at war with them?
Guy Benson.
Get the bleep out of here. It's disgusting.
Jimmy Fallon.
Then this administration rolled into town with a checkbook.
Are all on the free Odyssey app. From the news and talk to keep you informed and up to date during election season. Listen to Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password.
Are you going to become a victim?
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated US-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With MyLowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe's today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 101.5 FM KDAWN.
More police action. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. Police are said to be retreating from the University of Southern California campus after an anti-Israel protest encampment was dismantled.
Law enforcement at USC moving pretty quickly. It appears they were able to clear the remaining encampment and protesters within the hour, per reports from student journalists. This comes after the university posted on X this morning. The Los Angeles Police Department is clearing the center of UPC. If you are in the center of campus, please leave. People who don't leave could be arrested. USC's Annenberg Media says the LAPD is now retreating, but members of the university's Department of Public Safety are still on the ground. It's unclear if any arrests have been made.
And that is Fox's Madeline Rivera. Protesters continue to demand universities end any kind of business with Israel. Authorities in Mexico, meantime, reportedly saying that an American surfer and 2 Australian friends who went missing last weekend all may have been murdered during a vicious carjacking.
Those 3 people arrested include 2 brothers and a 23-year-old woman who were charged in relation to the disappearance of the missing surfers in Baja California. The woman was said to be in possession of one of the missing men's cell phones, and this comes nearly a week after American Jack Carter Road and Australian brothers Callum and Jake Robinson vanished. The local prosecutor says the men were murdered during a violent robbery, telling Australia 7 News when they tried to get the vehicle, the victims opposed the robbery. The robbers were armed with a firearm, and apparently the victims were shot. Investigators discovered 3 bodies dumped in a 50-foot deep well. Forensic tests are underway to identify the remains.
Fox's Chanley Painter. Authorities also finding a 4th body, which they suspect is the property owner who had also previously gone missing. America's listening to Fox News.
Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Ben Domenech, Fox News contributor and editor of the Transom.com daily newsletter, and I'm inviting you to join a conversation every week with the smartest thinkers out there about the issues Americans face and where we're going as a nation. This show will feature deep dive interviews with newsmakers and some of your favorite Fox News analysts. I hope you'll join me as we dive into the fray. It's the Ben Domenech Podcast.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back. It is hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, streaming worldwide on the Odyssey app and live streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the Mark Hoke Show. And I would suggest that you get in that chat box right now. Just do it. You know why? Because you will be able to communicate with me and my upcoming guest, who's just one hell of a great guy. There's no debating it. He doesn't want you to think he is, but he is. And in fact, I'm going to get him in here right now, just because I can't keep him waiting off stage, as the StreamYarder says. Let's get him in here. The president of wrestling, Phil Stamper, joining us on the Mark Hoke Show. Glad to have you back, Phil. What's going on?
Thank you for having me. Now, why shouldn't people like me? I'm a likable guy.
You occasionally do some bad things in the ring, though.
I mean, that's on occasion. That's
occasion.
That's a rare occurrence. I haven't been stabbed in the head lately, so hey, I must be doing better.
Well, but there's a reason that somebody wants to stab you in the head. Usually,
I mean that's fair.
Yeah,
but not lately.
Not lately.
Not
all right.
Lately.
Phil Stamper, everybody. He's already on a roll.
There probably will be a reason very soon, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's right. PWRevolver always causing trouble. But you look good in the suit.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, this is how it always goes with him and I. It is just absolutely incredible. But we have a great time. I love having Phil on the show, and but we have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
A big weekend. And
Just
lots of stuff.
Just a little. But I'm going to start somewhat selfishly, but I'm happy you're here because I want to let you clue everybody in a little bit about what this big announcement for Las Vegas means to them. Of course, if you did not hear the news, everybody, and we talked about it in the first hour, WrestleMania 41 is going to be hosted right here in Las Vegas. It will be at Allegiant Stadium, April 19th and 20th. And of course, it's not just WrestleMania for the 2 days of events there. To give you the perspective first on what WWE does, we have NXT Stand and Deliver. We have SmackDown, Raw, a bunch of charity events that they do, the WWE World events and the shop that goes on, that all sorts of things that WWE is putting on as well. But Phil, of course, if you don't know and you don't follow him on Twitter at Trust and Phil, which is really stupid if you're a wrestling fan, because you should be, because Phil puts together this amazing, I mean, and I still don't know how you have the time to do it, but you put together this calendar of all the independent wrestling events that you can find anywhere. So you're on top of all this. Explain to everybody what is going on around a place like, for example, what happened in Philadelphia. What's going on around Philadelphia besides what WWE is doing?
Oh, nothing. So, so knowing that you have this huge fan base of people who love wrestling and want to support professional wrestling, who are coming there for WrestleMania, it not only starts to become just a celebration of what the WWE is doing, but a larger celebration of professional wrestling. And it becomes a huge economic driver for the region, because a lot of fans are coming then not to even attend WrestleMania. They're coming to attend all of these smaller events that maybe are from all across the country that are coming to the city where WrestleMania is going to be at. And now typically, but not always, typically there's a showcase of the promotions from that area to take the forefront a little bit and go, hey, let's showcase a little bit of what we have. It's an opportunity for some of the larger independent promotions to come out and show, hey, this is what we also bring in. Hey, we're traveling larger promotions. And then you sort of have a mix of a whole bunch of other stuff. So I want to say around Philadelphia, outside of the Mania events, there was about, I think it was like 75 other events this year. And that was lower from what it was in California last year.
Wow.
That were just independent wrestling related, that were not connected to the WWE. And so it's always interesting then to see who is going to come out there. But I'm very happy that I'm on a show in Las Vegas, being able to talk about WrestleMania coming to Las Vegas. But Minneapolis isn't happy right now,
No,
because they were listed to be in the running, and this is like I said, this is a huge economic driver, because you have all these people coming to not just do the events in the stadium and all these independent events. They're going to your eateries, they're going to your hotels, they're using your resources in the area, and so it becomes this just huge, gigantic pool of resources. Economic resources that come into the region, and now it's going to come to Las Vegas, which is great. Does Las Vegas need more money? But that's a whole other conversation. So this is, I think it's always cool to get the announcement, because now it's like, okay, what else is going to come next? What else is going to be the talk? I mean, people have already been talking about, for WrestleMania, is the main event next year already? Do we know? Is it going to be Cody Rhodes versus The Rock? That's already been sort of planted out there. And so it's, now we get the build for the next 11 months of what's going to happen by the time between now and Mania.
Yeah, and they don't have the numbers in terms of dollar amounts that came in for Philadelphia yet, but I believe LA, I think they had a number of around 125 or 130 million dollars that came into the Los Angeles area for that. And well, LA is kind of a mess right now. Las Vegas isn't quite the mess that LA is. And when everybody hears Las Vegas, they go crazy. So, and it's cheap to fly in here. If you're smart, you know where to stay, how to handle it, and you can have a great time. And just it when you hear Las Vegas, you just get a little more excited about coming here than maybe going to a lot of other cities. There's just a stigma around I'm going to Las Vegas as opposed to I'm going to Dallas, or I'm going to Tampa or something like that. There's just a little something extra to it, and I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of extra excitement for everybody coming out here to Vegas. I mean, Phil, is that kind of the perspective? I mean, because I've been here 10 years now, so I guess I'm kind of a local, so I'm stuck in that I live here mode. Is that the perception that you have being out east?
So it's when I went to New Orleans for Mania weekend, and when I went there, I was like, I want to explore New Orleans. I've never been to New Orleans before. I want to take the opportunity to go see some things in New Orleans. Okay, now the rest of the weekend I'm going to do everything wrestling related. So there is that little bit of like, you're going to experience the city and get a feel of what it's like. And the advantage of a place like a New Orleans or like a Las Vegas is, you have some concentrated centers of where activity is going to occur. And so that is really cool because fans are looking for that. It was harder, though there were a lot of neat things to do, like in a Philadelphia. There's not as the same kind of public transportation. There's not as everything similarly condensed into a small pocketed area. So you had to travel a little bit for things. And that becomes a little harder for your fans to be able to get to do everything. And so depending on, the venues that independent promotions are going to pick and where they're going to be and how it is relational to the Strip versus I don't even know exactly where the stadium is for.
It's right next to it.
Okay.
You're literally jumping over the interstate.
Gotcha. So everything then, in my mind, I'm like, everything's probably going to be pretty well condensed together, easily connected, and that you'll be able to get to and from places pretty quickly. It's going to be a mass of people. In my brain, I'm just imagining the swell of the regular crowd in the Strip, plus then all the wrestling fans.
Yeah, it's going to be sensational. So get ready, everybody. And Phil, you ought to come out for Double or Nothing and scout things out for PWRevolver.
I have been thinking about
Do it. Come, Phil, come stay at my place. You can hang out.
You are starting to convince me. Maybe we need to have an offline conversation about this. But
absolutely.
I am in desperate need of a vacation, and it would be a working vacation because I'd be checking out wrestling stuff. But
right, done. Tell Sammy to dip into the checkbook. Sammy Callahan. He just got back into doing TNA. He's got a little extra cash in his pocket.
To be fair, it's a limited run for the moment, and so hopefully things go for him. And he's back.
He was looking good though. By the way, I give him compliments.
He has dropped a lot of weight. And people are like, he took some time off from TNA. He came back. And people don't realize it, but he dropped, I want to say it was like 40 pounds from the time he left to now. So yeah, and he's now he's trying something a little different. The presentation of deathmatch television or death machine television.
Yes,
that's gonna be pretty interesting. I'm waiting to see where that goes.
Yeah, he was quite nasty. I will say that he looked great, and you can tell him I said that. He did look very good. I was quite impressed with his match.
It's okay.
No, I'm serious.
Fear of Sammy Callahan. It's fine. It's
if I would tell you, I wouldn't say that on air that he sucked if I thought he sucked, but he really did a good job. I was quite impressed. So give him my best.
Will do.
I was pleased. Yeah. So there you go. So there's WrestleMania and everything going on with it, but it's like I said, it's going to be for those that are kind of underselling in Vegas. And I think some of the articles that I read really were kind of like, it's another event. No, this is not just another event. I mean, this is, I won't say Super Bowl level event, but this is pretty big. So everybody out here, get ready.
And I haven't done the numbers on, like, I don't know the size I don't know the amount of people the stadium can hold. Plus, then you're going to have the seating then on the field area where fans are going to be seated. Excuse me. So I don't know the total population of just that times at least 2 for just then all the other events that are happening for just the WWE. Plus, then another quarter to a half of that number for everyone else who's there for all the other events. And even sometimes people will make this a whole vacation. Their families will come with them, but sometimes the families don't want to do the wrestling stuff. So it becomes more people than you are thinking of for just then singularly the wrestling events.
Yeah. And one thing that I'll say too, for anybody out there that's listening that is just thinking, well, it's Las Vegas, it's casinos. Folks, there's so much more to do here. There is. And it's just like everybody comes out here, and if they've never been here before, all they know is the Strip, Fremont Street, and that's all they understand about Las Vegas. And there's a whole valley out here. I mean, we're about 3 million people here, and this area is huge. I mean, for those of you that are like outdoor enthusiasts, holy God, there's hiking and parks and just amazing things to do in this place. And I mean, I'm not the big outdoorsy type like I used to be, but there's so much to do. And I'm gonna have to start doing some videos just to show people the restaurants and the places to go and everything else.
That may actually be pretty smart. I mean, you are the #1 pro wrestling radio show in Las Vegas, and so the fact that you can now go, hey, worldwide market, watch us, and let me showcase a little bit of what else you can check out beyond that, I think it would be excellent. In my mind, I think that's a great idea.
Well, thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. See, I'm even better when you're around. Even better when you're around.
I hope that with people.
Yeah, you're all right. All right. Well, let's start digging into Backlash a little bit. But I don't know if I want to talk about the card so much.
Okay.
Because it was your typical. If you would have put that in Des Moines, it's your typical lower level WWE PLE. We got a surprise. The Gorillas of Destiny are back together. That was cute. I mean, what'd you think of that first? I'll give you that. I'll give you that one first. Were you a little caught off guard on that?
More caught off guard by the veracity of the fan base. They were hot. They were, I mean, hot in a good way. I mean, not hot as in temperature. I mean, just they had so much energy that they were able to pour out. And it was funny because they were doing chants, but chants in French, and some people weren't connecting to what are these chants. And then sort of like partway through the show, they realized the cadence of what people were saying. And they were like, oh, they're saying like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that almost dominated the match of the first, that almost dominated the very first match on the show because of just that energy that they were feeling. I agree with you to a certain point. Because that energy then fed into what was happening on the event. And so I think you saw some better performances from some of the talent because they had this hot, amazing crowd that was really letting them feed off of that.
Yeah, it definitely helped. And I guess you're kind of taking me where I wanted to go was the PLEs that are taking place that aren't the SummerSlams, the WrestleManias, the Money in the Banks and so on, the top tier ones. It seems like WWE is now making a concerted effort to take those PLEs and take them around the world. They're making these international events. They're going to places they haven't gone before and apparently charging some pretty hefty ticket prices to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting these crowd reactions because they know they're going to get a hot crowd because they're not there very often. So it makes the product look even better because you're going to Lyon, France, where they've never gone before. So these guys, the fans are so hungry to see these performers. So they're going nuts. Plus, European crowd, they're soccery. So they're going to get a little kooky. And it's a very interesting strategy. And I'm almost wondering, the trend I think kind of started with Elimination Chamber last year, up in Montreal, even though, it's technically not overseas, but then, going to Puerto Rico, which once again, it's still American territory, but it's not a place where WWE typically goes, Clash at the Castle. Then you go to, you're going to Perth and so on. Is this something that WWE may just stick with this strategy and say, you know what, we're going to take these PLEs around the world to different locations the Americans get to see this all the time. We're going to go international locations. We're going to get hot crowds. We're going to make a lot of money, and we'll just keep the other ones from the most part in the United States, and we're good.
Mm-hmm. I think spreading it out is a good thing. I mean, the American crowd isn't going to miss professional wrestling because they see it multiple times a week on their television set. And so spreading it out and then having that American crowd, seeing the reactions that the international crowd has and their energy is going to feed an American crowd. I think it's so smart in that kind of respect. I think then you're seeing these larger draws that are overseas. I think that's going to be good to drive up more interest on the American live events as well. There's even with like independent companies, like the companies that stay in like their local area, they get that certain draw. Like, okay, that's great. But now imagine if you had that buzz and energy and then you went to another city 4 hours away, can you continue that and grow there? And with an engine like the WWE, this is a model for success for them. And I'm really looking forward to them continuing this. I think there is that little side buzz you get from some fans of, oh no, they're gonna leave us in the America and we're not gonna have WrestleMania anymore. No, that's okay. No, like chill out. The WWE is a United States company. It's going to live in the United States. Okay, they're gonna go overseas for a week every couple months. Great.
Yeah,
let them do that.
Yeah, it only expands the company, only makes it better, and I think it's a role model for and personally, if I'm AEW, I'm seeing this, and I think WWE kind of picked that up too when AEW went to London with All In.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have seen that success and said, "Wow, maybe we're missing something here," and lo and behold, when you have the machine that can do it all the time, as opposed to maybe AEW who doesn't have the money to do that constantly. WWE's like, yeah, we'll just dip in the bank and yeah, we'll go here, we'll go there, and write another check, off we go. It makes sense. It really does. It makes sense.
And one of the cool things that I thought when I in this last tour of the places they've gone is seeing the talent post that how they're enjoying the city or wherever they're whatever country they're in too. And it's like, that's cool too, because you're giving your talent that opportunity because they live a life that's on the road and they don't get a chance to go, you know what, I really need a vacation. So this is almost like giving them a little bit of a break while they're still at work. So they can explore and check out the sites and see another country for maybe the first time. And I think that's a very cool part of what they're doing as well.
Yeah, and it's important to connect with that fan base, and you're making new fans and bringing those people closer together because now they're going to have that experience.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, for example, they were in France and Austria and I think Italy, and now those people are going to have something that they're going to be able to talk about for years to come. They're going to tell their friends, and when WWE maybe they don't come back for another 4 or 5 years, but when they do, man, they're going to pack the house. They're going to pack it because they're going to have heard what they missed and seen what they missed on TV. And it's great business. So I think they'll keep that rolling. It was fun to watch. They may have got a little carried away, but it was fun to watch. They're French.
That's
what
fine.
are you going to do? It's fine. All right. Hey, let's take a break. Yeah. Let's take a break. We got a lot more of Phil Stamper, the president of wrestling. Are you up for election soon, Phil?
Oh, I just have a rolling deal. It's totally fine.
Rolling deal. All right, fair enough. Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, as we keep it rolling, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. So stick around, everybody. Oh, man, I've got so much more to discuss, but can I make Phil sing on the show? Can I do it? We might have to. A lot more to come. We'll be right back.
If your retirement plan is on set it and forget it, it's time to take control. Tune in for Financial Safari with America's Wealth Coach and best-selling author, Coach Pete DeRuda.
Financial Safari with Coach Pete, Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 2 p.m. on 101.5 FM.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
The good folks at Wendy's have a revolutionary new product for you. Introducing the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. It's like a time machine that takes you all the way back to now, the year 2024. It's the classic creamy, orangey flavor you remember. Dare I say, it's new-timey. It's the flavor you grew up with, just all grown up. Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Centennial Toyota is thrilled to announce the grand opening of their brand new state-of-the-art Toyota dealership in Las Vegas. Come check out Centennial Toyota and see their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Come on, let's do some more pro wrestling. Me and Phil Stamper. I don't know if tag team or I should just beat him up.
Sir, how dare you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Most days.
Plus, you don't know exactly where I'm at, but I know where to find you every Sunday morning.
You do. You can bring a few friends down. It's all right.
Okay.
Hey, when you come to Vegas, because you're coming, I know you're coming here sometime soon. Just everybody's, I got to put something together. I really do. All these, we got everybody coming in town for Double or Nothing. Now we got WrestleMania.
Right.
We got these TNA events. And Revolver's got to get out. You guys have got to do a show here sometime. You gotta.
So, I mean, even before we knew Mania was gonna come, there's been some conversations. Now it's going to become a very crowded market very quickly. So there's some conversations to be had. And Sammy's been with TNA all weekend, so I haven't actually been able to talk to him yet. So, there's going to be some things that will be coming, but I can't guarantee. I'll be very honest. I can't guarantee anything because we haven't looked at anything because we had to wait for the announcement to happen. So we knew exactly where we were going to go.
All right.
Because we were in that so is it Minneapolis and we just need to pick a weekend?
Well, when you guys are here, I would love to join you and have a great time. So, and if you come out a little sooner, decide you just want to throw a fun show out here, bring a few of the boys out and the ladies. We'll have a good time. All right.
Sounds good.
We'll have a good time. Phil Stamper, Trust and Phil on X. I still can't get that right all the time.
Yeah, I still call it Twitter.
Yeah, it's just I gotta talk to you.
It may be X.com, but it's Twitter.
Yeah, it's Twitter in our hearts. All right. Well, I just want to wrap up Backlash a little bit. Just some overall thoughts on what happened in the ring. The ladies' tag match was I'm still not sure what happened in the last 5 minutes of that match, but it didn't. It was great to see Bianca and Jade win the tag titles. I think it's a cool tag team, but boy, that match was just kind of a little. I don't know. It got a little weird.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out who was legal, who wasn't, and why that even had to happen. I don't know. I didn't go back and watch it again to decipher the whole thing, but that didn't help Jade. And even if it wasn't her fault, which I still don't know if it was or wasn't, but that didn't help Jade at all.
I agree. I'm right there with you on all of it. I'm like, yeah.
It was just bizarre. You have to, I guess you got to go back and watch the match, but there was, Kyrie Kyrie wasn't legal, and then Asuka was outside the ring anyway, even though she wasn't the legal person, or she was the legal person, and they still made a tag. And yeah, it was confusing, but it will be an intriguing tag team to watch, to see what those two do. But I do think it puts Jade in a good position, because I think if you're looking for a role model for Jade Cargill on what to do in the ring with someone who's such an incredible athlete like her, I don't know if you could do better than Bianca.
You're right. Again, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think it's a smart pairing. I think, this way it gives, you have someone for my brain is like slowly dying. Can you see it? Yeah, someone for Jade to work with and communicate with, even though she's no stranger to the ring, she is new to the WWE product and production and how all that runs. So having somebody that I'm here with somebody very knowledgeable who can help guide me on this path a little bit, that is the WWE. And even just to get the production cues, even just on that side of things alone, all right. So you have somebody that's beneficial for you to work off of and work with. I mean, if I was to forecast perhaps for maybe something that could happen in Las Vegas in a year, maybe this down the road, they might be tag champions today, but maybe rivals in a year from now.
Yeah.
Eventually that's going to happen. We're already talking about the end of a team that just is really starting, but hey,
that's okay. That's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah, we're pro wrestling guys. We think ahead. We see destruction way before it even is close to occurring. So that's all right.
I mean, just like the eventual fan destruction once Cody Rhodes turns heel.
Whoa, bringing that home too. Boy, everybody's starting on that. Why is everybody starting at Cody turning heel?
So let's face it. When he was in AEW, I was like, when he became Homelander, Cody Rhodes, I was like, all right, man, it's time. And he didn't turn heel, even though there was teases of it. I think you were watching in the ring. It never really became that. But man, if he was to turn heel in the WWE, the uproar that would cause, I think, would bring attention. And I mean, they're gonna ride Cody Rhodes for as long as they can in this momentum that they have. We'll talk about the match in a second, but I do feel they're gonna use him as long as they can. But whatever that turn is, whatever that may be, there's even in my brain a pocket idea of how they could make Cody heel and The Rock comes back as the face. I don't know. There's a lot of ideas you can play, and that's some of the fun of pro wrestling. You don't know what's going to happen next.
Right. Yeah. It is funny. Cody is playing such a super sweetheart, man. You could see it. I mean, it's funny. I was thinking about it because when I was watching him, you see him go to the ring and it's just like the ultra smile and the, just cuddling up with the fans. And it's almost too much, and I'm not putting him down or anything, but it's almost like when you watch a movie and you see that the hero is just being maybe a little too hero-y, you know what I mean? There's just he's flawless and there's a flaw there somewhere. When's it going to pop up?
So, one of the things that, and I hope I'm not foreshadowing in the wrong way. And what I mean by that is we've seen patterns and cycles in the world of professional wrestling, especially the WWE, and how fans respond. And so it's like, okay, Cody's now won. What is the next part of that chapter? Like, where do you go to? And I say that for two reasons, because you've seen somebody like a Drew McIntyre, who I hope that they keep him in a certain momentum and lane where he's still this like top guy, but maybe just nasty about these different opportunities that have fallen him. But you've seen other guys who've completely just fallen away. And so it's sort of like, if you keep Cody going in the same direction, you get one of two things. You get what people hated about John Cena, which is it's always John Cena, always doing the same thing all the time. Oh my gosh, I'm tired of seeing John Cena. Or is it the second, which is like, oh, there's going to be a new evolution of then what Cody Rhodes is, what pushes him to the next level, what is the next tweak of the American Nightmare that we get if some bigger thing is now to befall him, if he has to fight through a different kind of struggle, or is he just going to always be the downtrodden babyface who gets the crap beat out of him on beat out of him on SmackDown leading into the pay-per-view, and then he gives a receipt on the thing that happens to him on SmackDown at the pay-per-view, and that's what people are coming to expect now. I don't know. I want to see where they go with it. I hope it is for the success of everybody. The interesting thing about WrestleMania, since we talked about it so much, and I'm teasing it a little bit with what I think it might happen, is that some wrestling fans have gotten so burned out by mainstream wrestling that they'll only watch Mania. So like they just watched Mania a month ago, and the next pay-per-view they're going to watch is next year's Mania. And so there is a little bit of that too, that okay, they're telling a story now between Mania to Mania, because they know not all of the fans are sticking around all year long. Plus, even for the fans that are, Mania is no longer sort of like the season finale event. It is no longer the culmination of all of these different storylines that get the final payoff at Mania. Sometimes it starts a storyline. Sometimes it's the middle of somebody's story. It happened that it was the end of one chapter of Cody's story, and now on to another one. So there's a lot of different play that they have now. Plus, it's their opportunity to showcase to the mainstream audience, wow, we are the huge spectacle. Pro wrestling is this amazing event. And maybe they'll bring in a televised star to be featured in and involved in something, because that gets some mainstream appeal in as well. So it isn't always that typical kind of WrestleMania event that we think of, like when we were kids, that all of these things that have been happening for months and months and months are now going to be paid off at Mania. And that's also been a criticism, because not this year, but in some previous years, it was a lot of like, did they just put these matches for Mania together in the last week? Like,
yeah.
And so, now we do have some really good builds, and I hope WWE absolutely maintains that momentum. But yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how it all develops and how it all comes together for next year.
Yeah. And of course, once again, culminating here in Las Vegas. If you didn't hear, we've got WrestleMania 41 Easter weekend, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Easter. I wonder if Cody's going to face off with the Easter Bunny. Or if he keeps this up, maybe he'll be in a tag team with Jesus. I just blew Phil Stamper's mind. I'm sorry. I did go there, and I apologize. God, forgive me.
But you know the Easter Bunny's getting beat up.
The Easter Bunny is going to get shoved in a Prime bottle. I have a feeling it's going to be the Easter Bunny in the Prime bottle.
Fair.
Yeah, it should be. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you, with that, I think that's a great place to take a break and get into our final segment. But when we come back, we have to talk about this. The phenomenon that is Joe Hendry.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, my God. If you didn't hear this story, it is something else. And I'm going to sing on the air. I don't know if Phil's going to have the guts to do it. But you know what? I believe in Joe Hendry enough, and he deserves it for what he pulled off. But we're going to talk about marketing yourself a little bit, because it was pretty fascinating what he pulled off over the past week. So stick around, everybody. Got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. Phil Stamper, the president of wrestling. Follow him on X at Trust and Phil. We'll be right back.
following is a paid advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center and may not be available in all states.
Have you or your loved ones been injured in an accident that was not your fault? Listen up, because you need to call the Legal Help Center. They handle all types of accidents, from car accidents, motorcycle, DUI, rideshare, to workplace injuries, slip and falls, and many more. Legal Help Center was created to be a reliable resource connecting injured victims to local area attorneys with experience in your accident. Legal Help Center representatives are ready to answer your questions and provide you a free consultation. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. If you've been injured from an accident that was not your fault, you need to call. Get your life back, know your legal rights, and get the financial compensation you deserve. Let Legal Help Center connect you with a law firm who can answer your questions and provide you a free consultation. 800-328-1010. Get what you deserve. Speak to a live agent now. 800-328-1010. 800-328-1010.
Say, for the ones who get it done, Grainger is offering high-quality supplies and solutions for every single industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and the experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people even safer. So call, click Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Grainger.com.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts, until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPE LLC.
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, and it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message, sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we are back for the final segment of the Mark Hoke Show today here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, streaming live on the Odyssey app. And we are live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. And I've got one of my favorite guests, and I just love this guy to death, Phil Stamper from Pro Wrestling Revolver, having a great time. And Phil, you just look, for those that aren't on the live stream, by the way, Phil has got just a black background. I mean,
it's simple. It's easy. It's clean.
It's dark. It's dark.
I can pull out the green screen, but I don't know what I would put on the background right now.
It's all good. I'm just having fun with you. But I've got to get into this because for this story took over wrestling for a few days.
Mhm.
Joe Hendry from TNA,
Mhm.
who of course does has a musical background, also does have a marketing background, by the way. He's been around for a while, does all these parody videos and stuff, and just has been torturing AJ Francis in TNA. And I mean torturing him. It's been something incredible to watch. Well, he decided that he was going to make a push with his intro music. Okay. And if you haven't heard the intro music, maybe if you're just a WWE guy and you don't know it, this is it. And Phil, you know the song, right?
Oh yeah.
You know this tune. So hopefully I'm not going to get a copyright violation, but here it is. Are we ready? We're going to all do this together because it's a great little tune. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Oh, I almost got too excited there. But anyway, so that's Joe Hendry's music, and he gets the guitar part. And I'll leave it playing in the background to finish up, but it's like a minute 12.
It's very catchy. That's the thing.
It is.
It's really easy.
So you got to wave your hands from side to side, right? There we go. I believe in Joe Hendry. I mean, no. So he gets everybody going with this and all his parody songs. It just does a terrific job. So Joe thought it'd be kind of fun to make a push to get on the charts in the UK. So he put the plea out on social media. Say, everybody, start downloading this. Well, lo and behold, Joe Hendry took over the UK iTunes charts. And not only that, he took over in a bunch of other countries.
Mm-hmm.
He got to number 6 here in the US. Unfortunately, he did not win the week. No. I think it was on some technicalities, but he was number 4. I think he was given credit for like number 4 in downloads and number 6 in sales in the UK. Unbelievable for effort by him to make this social media push. I mean, he put a ton of effort into this.
Mm-hmm.
And the support of the wrestling fans was amazing on this too for Joe, who's, just mostly been out there on the indies and doing TNA to pull this off. Phil, what did you think of this? I mean, this was something really special and cool for Joe. He just deserved it.
So I felt bad because I didn't realize how long he has had a version of this song. Because basically, at least since 2019,
yes,
he's had the I Believe in Joe Hendry, a little bit remixed here and there. And so I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's the same song from Ring of Honor. Oh, that's real. That was the same song. Oh, I'm a dummy. And so, but to see what he was able to do, it speaks kind of what we're speaking about with Mania, like the fact that somebody can leverage wrestling fans that quickly and garner that much appreciation. I mean, still in the UK charts, he's 32nd. Worldwide, he's 112. And you might just 112? Like,
oh, yeah, come on.
He's over like songs with like from Jelly Roll. There was a new song from Ed Sheeran that he's higher than on the charts right now. So it's interesting. Part of me then, I know now he's doing, like you said, these parody songs that he'll do here and there. There's been a couple more in the last couple of weeks. So I'm curious, like, maybe he should put more things out there. Like, it may then garner some other success, especially in the music world, but then also feed it in the wrestling life. Like, I think it's a great idea. I think, go with it, continue it. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah. And it just goes to show, I think, number one, I mean, he's an incredibly creative guy, and to be able to do what he did, I think it shows that he's a really special performer. Whether he can parlay this into, something bigger in the wrestling career is one thing, but I think it also shows the wrestling fans out there, they get a lot of crap for some of the things that they say and do. But when it comes to pulling together, there's nobody like them. There's really not, and I appreciate the people who listen to my show and here in Vegas and download it and everything else, and it means the world. And I'm sure, Phil, you feel the same way with your work. For them to do what they did for him, just a great feeling. It really is. It's cool, and I'm so happy for him to get the success. Especially, I know he puts a ton of work into his music. So awesome way to go out there, gang.
It's very cool.
Now, maybe Phil and I will do a duet. I don't know what we write, but
well, we're not quite coast to coast. No offense, let's our Nevada's not on the coast. I'm on a coast.
You're on a coast. Close to coast to coast.
Right. Close to coast to coast. I like that idea.
I'll work on it. We'll see if we can come up with something for a minute. But yeah, I just want to make sure we covered that story because it was definitely running the show for a while in the pro wrestling world, to say the least. Let's see. One of the things. Oh yeah, I guess we probably ought to talk about Jack Perry and the Elite real quick too, and what's going on with those guys. Hey, AEW's got a storyline that's running through everything for once.
That is good.
Again, yes, it's great. Why are people destroying this story? I don't get it.
So, I mean, well, one, because they've been disappointed, and you know how wrestling fans are. Like I was just saying about WWE, like, is this cyclical, or are we going to see it fall apart? That's one thing. The second is some of this is very obvious about some things that they are going to do. I'm not going to spoil it. So people are a little feeling like, we see the next step. Is that really what's going to happen? And it's almost like they're making a judgment call on it. And because for so long, it's not that AEW doesn't have rudders. It's that nobody was letting any one of those rudders be the guiding force of where their ship was heading. And that caused conflict, that caused problems. And it's taken so many people. And maybe this is finally the wake-up call that AEW needed. Like, get your stuff together. But then you watch sometimes the product and you're like, wow, that was not the best. And that's on your television program. Dude,
yeah,
or dudette, or like, and so that's been some struggle, and there's been some other things that they could have capitalized on that they did,
but they're still figuring it out. It's
hard, and that's been the struggle. They didn't come out of. Well, yeah, they didn't come out of the womb ready to go on television. They had to build to it. They started doing pay-per-views before they'd ever had a pay-per-view before. Like they needed to work into some things, and now they're just kind of doing it. And I do think that does cost them at times, and that's why they needed some of those clear rudders. And it's interesting because on Swerve's podcast, he's recently had like Will Ospreay on, and they've talked about some of those guiding forces in AEW that have really helped them. Chris Jericho, a Dean Malenko, a Billy Gunn. And it's like, here are the people that we need to listen to. And the people that seem to listen to them seem to get better. And the people who don't, because they think they're too hot and like, oh, look, I'm on television now. I don't need to learn anything else because I've already gone to the pinnacle. Aren't going to succeed and will leave thinking, well, now I know what I'm doing, so I can go on elsewhere. And no, because you didn't showcase what you could have done when you had the opportunity. Yep. So why would we be interested in you? And that some of those folks are not realizing that. And I think it is a struggle and it needs to be fixed. And I'm hoping these are all the right steps that they're finally taking in order to bring us the product we really want and need.
Yes. Thank God. Well, speaking of products, tell everybody a little bit about Revolver before we get you out of here, bud.
So the Wrestling Revolver travels around the country, typically has events in Iowa, Texas, and Ohio in a rotation. We next return to Dayton, Ohio on Friday, May 17th for an event aptly called Another Friday. It'll feature John Moxley. It'll feature Ethan Page, Sami Callihan. I don't know, maybe myself. Alex Shelley, who is our current world champion, will be in action. So the Rascals will be there. So much action. I want you to be there. Check out ProWrestlingRevolver.com or all of our social media at PWRevolver.
Man, that's good. That sounds like a great card. Holy cow.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be exciting. And right now, actually, we're doing a promo contest because one of the things we want to do is incorporate more young talent onto the events. We want to bring in those new faces. So we're doing a promo contest right now. Check out our social media for more information.
Oh man, I'll have to tweet that out. Send that. Make sure I get a hold of that because I think there's some people in Vegas that might be very interested in that.
A certain OG submission gangsta has submitted his video.
Uh-oh. I know that guy. Oh, man. Well, hey, that's going to wrap it up for us. Phil Stamper at Trust and Phil on X. Thank you again for coming on the show. A great time and fantastic information for all our listeners. Had fun, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you got it. And that is going to do it for us on the Mark Hoke Show. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Oh, just The Mark Hoke Show everywhere, markhokeshow.com. It's real simple, guys. But what's not simple is doing a great show and having terrific fans like you guys. We love you to death. We'll see you next time on KDAWN. Have a terrific Sunday, Las Vegas.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. And visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.